You are one monk mode away from achieving the life of your dreams. It is really that simple. What is monk mode? Monk mode is a phase of your life where you eliminate all distractions. So you take out anything that could be holding you back, things that are going to occupy your brain capacity. So things like girls, partying, hanging out too much with your friends. Of course, these things in moderation can be really helpful to your success, giving you that time to ease off. But monk mode is a time when you cut out 90% of that stuff and just give yourself that little 10% of occasionally hanging out with your friends or seeing someone, but not always trying to pursue girls and party and hang out with friends all the time, because those things are going to sap your mental energy. And when you're in your building phases, like especially if you're just rolling out a new venture, a new project that you're working on, a new business, these things are going to kill that momentum that you can potentially build up in this period of time. So monk mode is really just going to allow yourself to focus on the important things in life, allowing you to build that success and momentum so that maybe in 1 to 3 months time, you can reintegrate all these things that are a little bit more fun and then allow yourself to have the momentum of the business or whatever it is that you built and accomplished to transition into having a smooth, time with these things as well. Now mixed into your life, you have your business, now you have the social life and the fun things to go along with it. But it's just taking those things out for a short period of time. It's a little sacrifice in the grand scheme of things if you can achieve success. And not every single monk mode is going to be the one that gets you that 10K. You might need many different monk modes for different things. In the process of getting rich and becoming the man who you want to be and achieving the life that you want, there's many different skills you need to develop. So for me, this meant that one of my monk modes was just learning how to be social, because to kind of give you a little bit of backstory of my progress and how it worked for me was the first monk mode I did, it was really heavily focused on dopamine detoxing and then also actually becoming social and coming out of my shell. So for me, it was more of doing things like forcing myself to do some cold approaches everywhere I went, if I was at the beach, if I was at the gym, at the bar, just really talking to people. So my monk mode was not only dopamine detoxing, but actually getting social for me was one of the first things I needed to do in order to get anywhere in life, because I was extremely shy and introverted. So that's what I needed to do. This was the phase of my life that I needed to accomplish. For me at this point, money wasn't something that was going to be easily accomplished, because I needed to break through certain barriers first. So for me, getting social and breaking out of my shell was my first priority. Building things like discipline and other skills at the same time was one of the things I was doing. So there was many different phases. But that first phase was really just about discipline, breaking out of my shell, and becoming a little bit more confident in myself, which is 100% what I did. And that monk mode accomplished that goal that I was trying to achieve. So that was the first one I had. The second one I had was really just about learning. So I read about 10 to 15 books in my second monk mode. It was about 2.5 months where I was just up in the mountains, focusing on myself, really focusing on my health, really just trying to read and learn as much as possible. So I read a lot of books about the markets, stocks, money, just really learned about a lot of different things which I didn't understand before. And if you want to make money, you have to understand how money works, things like that, the Federal Reserve, how money is printed, all those things. So without going into detail on that, but that was my next phase, and I was applying it to the stock market. And I actually did have more success after I read about all these books and I was learning, because I've always been trading. That's one thing I've done. If you watch this a little bit, this channel, you'll know that I've done some trading. But my success with that improved quite a bit actually after I had taken that time to learn about those things. I went into the summer and I actually had a really good summer of trading. It wasn't any kind of money compared to what I'm making now, but it was enough that it was a successful venture of learning about the markets, stocks, and money as a whole, and really just taking that time to develop myself and focus on my health. No partying. I didn't drink one sip during those 2.5 months. Nothing. I was really just focused on my health and improving myself. Once again, more of a self-improvement, now just learning about money. And after this, I was also selling during that second monk mode. This was already after I decided to pursue sales. So during this time, I was also selling. And then later, this third monk mode is when I decided to pursue business. So this is my most recent one. I went all in on business. I only saw my friends like 5 or 6 times, and it was only for like a night. We just went out real quick and had a good time. But I went all in on business. All I did from morning to night was business. Sometimes it was working 12, 14-hour days with little to no breaks. And I would just go to the gym, just do what I had to do, sometimes really quick just to maintain. And then it was just business, building, 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 taking sales calls because I was the head of sales back then. It was just me. And I just really built it out. So I just focused 100% into the business, and then I allowed that business to build up. So now I have that momentum where I don't have to worry about it 24/7. Things are starting to get automated. Obviously, with a business, you're always going to have work to do. There's always things and problems and challenges that you're constantly going to have to overcome. So it's not like it's passive income or anything, but I built it up to a point where things are now rolling, and now you can integrate some of those things like the social life, getting to be social and hang out with friends, meet girls, do some fun things as well, mixing those in with your days so it's not just business. But if you take that small time to just sacrifice a couple of those things that can definitely hold you back a lot, occupying that mental space in your mind, which you could be focusing on the business or whatever it is that you're doing, is really going to allow you to get ahead. So if you just take 1 to 3 months, give yourself that time, especially if you know what you need to do. Maybe if you don't know what you need to do, it can be a little bit tricky, but if you know exactly what you need to do and you're still allowing these things, these distractions to hold you back from getting you to that next level, that's the biggest mistake that you can make, because your life is going to 10x once you've actually achieved something. If you're just like everybody else and you're kind of stuck in this race and you're struggling, the quality of your life, if you can actually build that business, is going to 10x. So those 1 to 3 months you sacrifice after that point is now going to be so much better. Your life is going to improve so much that that sacrifice is worth it 1,000,000 times over. There's not a single one of those monk modes I would trade, even though at times they can be lonely. It can be really difficult not doing anything besides that one thing that you're really honed in on. But every single time it pays off so much. And when you are doing that fun thing that you reintegrate, like that social life, you can think back to those moments of the struggle when it was just you, alone. Really, there's hard times throughout all these monk modes, especially this recent one with the business. There's so many ups and downs, and it was just me sometimes there alone, can be really frustrating and aggravating. And then now you have the social life, you have good things going, you have friends you're hanging around, and it's hard to not just be so grateful for all that work that you put in the past. So the moral of the story and the message behind this video is, if there's something you are ready to take on, if it's a sales career, if it's a business you're going to build, go all in on it. Take that time, sacrifice whatever it is you're doing, the distractions that are holding you back, and allow yourself to get ahead, because your life is going to change for the better, and you're never going to regret that sacrifice you made. All right, that is all for today. I hope you take on a monk mode and see the success that I have, and can experience what's on the other side if you do take that time to really build something for yourself. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.